Okay. Now, do you got one open still?
Yep.
Okay.
Still supposed to be running. If you're honestly excited about something, then we'll start there.
Look at this. Man, these roots are like monster roots.
And they'll grow under the water, like the leaves will too.
They are growing under the water.
Yeah, even the leaves will be under the water. Is that going on over here yet? Because this did it itself. It pulled itself in. We didn't see that. Yeah.
That's awesome. This is what I wanted.
All right, so you're here because I'm burnt out of the hobby and we're shutting it down. No, the water change system wouldn't work, and I had diagnosed it to maybe. He did fix it. Is this the biggest pond snail ever? Is that what this is? Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this beast. No way. Look at that guy.
We could eat that for lunch.
That guy's a mammoth. Get in there.
This thing over here on the wall.
That Dean convinced me to buy for this fish room, by the way.
For some reason, it kind of stopped working.
Well, the power went out, I think is what did it. And then it just, one day I noticed, I'm like, water changes aren't happening. What's going on? And that was like 3 days before I went to Aquashella.
I still stand by this because mine's never gone wrong. The company is a relatively small company.
Yeah, Haas Manufacturing, which picked up the phone, surprising.
He picked it up and he walked us through it, within a half hour, maybe 40 minutes?
A lot of testing.
A lot of testing, but he could do it all over the phone, and now it's working again.
Works perfect now.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad, because water changes weren't you could probably see it, like water levels are low.
Yep.
And that's because water changes, evaporation was happening. And so you can see here, like this should have been
up here.
Yeah. When I didn't have, it created a new leak, which is great.
This is our valve that we're testing to suck fertilizer out of this one tote.
Right, so we've got a tote filled with fertilizer, and that's what's making all the plants start growing, because now it's auto water changing, auto fertilizing, auto making that green because it had no plants in it.
And no water change.
Yeah, and like here, barely any plants, so there's algae, but there's also plant growing now, so that's good.
So this was leaking, and since we've updated it hasn't leaked. This water down here is from something
basically
else.
I think with no pressure coming this way, I wasn't holding it closed, so it would drip
drip out of there.
What else? Oh, I want to show you guys the new pets.
Oh, the pets.
The gross frogs, if you're in the live stream. These guys right here and right there. What makes these gross is these are cousins of the frogs that have the babies hatch out of their back. They do that too, but they only get like this big. Yeah, I bought 5.
Small gross.
Yeah, small gross. I got 5 of them, that's all they had. Hopefully we'll have male and female, and I'll make more small gross frogs.
Yeah.
We talked about how there's nothing to buy on Aquabid.
Nothing.
Yeah,
literally.
And in my time, it's, you know, winter is usually a time of like, okay, the selection's light.
Right.
But there's like nothing available, and I've had a really hard time finding stuff to put in bins that I actually want to watch.
I was so desperate I had rice fish eggs shipped from Japan. Do you want to talk about that wall a little bit?
Yeah, on the way there, by the way, I've got this trip hazard here. I'm using a power bank to recharge my auto feeders, and I told you a lesson I learned.
Yes.
Don't set 25 of them up on the same day, because when you notice like, oh, this one's out of power, that means 25 of them are out of power. So if you stagger them,
right,
then you go, oh, one's running out. Ooh, I should recharge them all.
So 100 years ago, when this wall was bare and had grease stains and stuff like that on it, and we were kind of mapping out this whole thing.
Oh no, I know where he's going with this.
My idea was to put tanks on this wall and on that wall.
Yep.
And tubs in the middle. Well, actually, I wanted rows of tanks in the middle too. But as I look around here, I've looked in every tote at least once today. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fish that don't belong.
Yeah. On the dumping ground.
You become the dumping ground, mostly from friends and employees.
Yeah, they're all fish with value, and they're all cool fish.
But that's not the point.
Right.
Are they fish that we really want? There's a lot of fish in here that I don't even really want, let alone you. So
Randy's discs are here. They're going to go to Candy. But to the tote next of it is skunk Corys, which are cool, but I didn't buy those when I was in Peru because I was like, well, they're not cool enough for me, but Randy broke down his fish room and he brought them here. So now I have all the skunk Corys.
We selected these at a wholesaler for Randy.
Because he wanted to bring a Corydor. I'm like, if you're going to do it, these are the ones. These are super cool.
These were really cool.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have like my favorite fish in the fish room. I absolutely love my Variatus platies, and I want to see these in a tank because...
What's the guppy in here for?
Because he got to move from the old fish room, and he gets to chill. It's just a male Vienna guppy. I really want to get these into a tank because I think they look so good.
So
you can see on camera, it's like that gold color shining.
So far you've said tank, tank, tank. My vote is we're going to change this wall to tanks somehow.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things Cory and I have talked about a lot today is one tank at a time concept. So you come in here and all of a sudden you got 12 40-gallon breeders to aquascape to fill with fish.
Yeah. It never came to fruition. There's fish. But they don't look amazing.
But we haven't got them amazing yet.
True confession, when I decided to buy my first aquarium plants, some Java Fern and Anubias, I totally didn't feed them because I heard they could live off my fish's waste. Now, while that may be true for certain aquariums with water that's naturally rich in nutrients and minerals, that's not the case for the majority of fish tanks, mine included. Basically, my plants never grew because they were lacking the food they needed to grow properly. That's why I decided to turn to Easy Green, which is an all-in-one liquid fertilizer that's great for Java Fern, Anubias, stem plants, mosses, and so on. It contains all the proper concentrations of macro and micronutrients, so I don't have to think about it. To start off with, dose 1 pump per 10 gallons of water each week for a tank with low to medium light. And then you can dial in that amount by measuring the nitrate level each week and keeping it around 40 to 50 ppm. The goal is for most of the nitrate to come from Easy Green rather than fish waste. And voila! My plants are happier than ever! So if you're new to plants or struggling with them like I was, give Easy Green a try at aquariumcoop.com.
When I come and work in the fish room, it's like, okay, I need to set up auto feeders, but I need to set up 50 of them. So I did the count.
60.
There's 69 tanks in this building.
Yeah.
And so even when you're just like, well, it's just 10 minutes per setup, it's like, okay, well, that's 690 minutes. Like, that's over 10 hours of setting up. And so that's how I've been almost crippled. Like you and I, we put these mangroves.
Right.
We spent like 2 hours putting mangroves in. Like it just, the scale of the stuff we're at right now for a one-person fish room is not working out. And yes, will it look insanely cool 10 years from now when I finally get all the time and I catch up? Sure, it probably would. Yeah. But between now and then, you guys will stop watching on YouTube because I don't do enough stuff.
So, for example, if you pan over to that aquarium with the cool rock.
Yes, okay. Yep, so I'm zooming in right now.
We found that rock when we were at the ALA thing in Florida.
Yep.
It came back on a pallet, but the fish tank has not yet to be finished.
Right.
It's got a cool rock, but that's it. If we do this wall, we're thinking we just do one tank at a time. And then maybe spend some time catching up on some of the other stuff too. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you guys would like to see, the process through a tank? You know, it'd be probably a year-long process. You might get 3 or 4 updates in the middle. But
we're starting with the 800 gallon, because the 800 gallon has never looked worse. And I know you guys know this, but like it's a show tank that's not a show tank because, I should do this, well, I should do that. Oh, the water system's broken. And you guys at this point will have seen the video where Lady Bird got sick, and I did some upgrades. But it's a never-ending battle between work and shooting a video for you guys and doing what I want to do. The other thing we were thinking about, are you guys interested in this one tank at a time series? If we start traveling to other pet stores and stuff and going to find fish, going to find rock, going to see what wood they have, and all that's part of like that day one. Let's go gather the supplies. We got to find a fish tank stand. We got to find a tank. We got to find, right? I don't know if you guys are into that. We'll know after we do the first one, or you guys vote on it.
It's time to put the second FX-6 on Ladybird's tank.
Because we got to finish Ladybird. If we're going to do one tank at a time.
I'm like Zenzo-like.
I would say that stuff's gotten done, but it's hard without motivation. Like, yeah, let's push forward. And it's way harder when there's not someone holding the camera, and we've been sending Jimmy to film other things. And so yeah, it has to be a custom install, so you might be like, oh, you're gonna install a filter, big deal.
Yeah, so we're gonna throw
the tubing's
all of
not nearly as long because this tank is 7 feet tall, so we have to do everything custom about it. Oh yeah, I also added like 100 nerite snails, and Ladybird's not eating them. Like that right there, that's their mouth that does that. You can see the tracks of them eating. This looks bad. I know this. I'm not dumb. I know it looks bad, but you can't reach this far, and the magnet's not strong enough to get it down here. Right. And so, short of me getting inside with Ladybird, and we already know Ladybird wasn't feeling so well, I can't do anything about it. So we're recruiting little buddies to help, and they're getting everything kind of going back. And this thing, Jimmy, cut to a shot of like the 800 gallon looking really good with clown loaches, and so the people that haven't been around for a long time,
There you go.
they go, oh wait, that thing used to be cool? Why are you so bad, Cory? And I could be like, I am, and we need to take it to that level. One tank at a time. Right now I've got 69 tanks that all keep fish happy but look terrible. We're gonna start there and work from the bottom up.
3 hours later.
So he hasn't seen the video yet. You guys have seen the video now, but he saw my shoddy work with the doser right before I went to Aquashella.
And it wasn't pulling anything from 8 feet down.
Yeah, it stopped pulling again. And
So you know, I just love PVC.
I was like, oh, it's gonna like not fit right. It's gonna rock. It'll be a pain in the butt. He has made it fit. I'm pretty sure you can do pull-ups on that thing.
I think you could.
Now he's building the perfect shelf to put this on there, which we can take it off the ground, fix the problem.
And the bottle and the thing will sit side by side, I think.
Yeah, you make me angry how good you are.
That's my favorite part.
FX-6 is in, which is good. And I also moved the CO2 in.
Yep.
We just zip tied it to the intake of this one. So that's where the suction cup was. So that's why it looks dirty on the inside. Now it just lives right there, goes up, and then gets pushed by the output we just put in. We also adjusted the other outtake. We replaced it with the normal one. Water comes this way, zoom, right? All the way over to here, and then that water is zooming that way. So we'll get a kind of a whirlpool effect going. It's not done. We got to plant, you know, this is one tank at a time. We got a lot more to do here.
That's like I would do it.
Yep, Dean would turn the label right. So there it is. Dosing into the tank. Used a zip tie, Dean's favorite duct tape. I mean, we got enough stuff on the floor at this point.
A little bit.
But we've done a little bit of cleanup. Now it's time to feed the Dean. You know what you're getting at Mexican food yet?
Carne asada.
All right.
Guacamole.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.